Imagine if, within just 50 years, the world's greatest civilizations all collapsed. Powerful kingdoms disappeared, magnificent cities burned, trade routes vanished, entire writing systems were forgotten. Around 1200 BC, that's exactly what happened. More than 3,000 years later, historians are still trying to understand why. Before the collapse, the ancient world was thriving. Across the eastern Mediterranean and the Near East, great civilizations traded with one another. The Egyptians, the Hittites, the Mycenaean Greeks, the Assyrians, the Babylonians, the cities of Canaan. They exchanged copper, tin, gold, grain, wine, luxury goods, ideas. Bronze was the metal that powered this world. Weapons, tools, armor, everything depended on it. Ships crossed the Mediterranean carrying goods from one kingdom to another. Kings exchanged gifts. Empires grew wealthy. It looked like an age that would last forever. Then, everything began to unravel. Within only a few decades, city after city was destroyed. Some were burned to the ground. Others were abandoned. The mighty Hittite Empire, one of the greatest powers on earth, simply disappeared. The Mycenaean kingdoms of Greece collapsed. Palaces that had stood for centuries were left in ruins. Trade almost stopped. Without trade, bronze became incredibly difficult to produce. Without bronze, armies weakened. Farming became harder. Kingdoms struggled to survive. Then something even stranger happened. In Greece, writing disappeared. For nearly 400 years, historians call this period the Greek Dark Age. It was as though civilization itself had taken a step backwards. So, what caused all of this? For generations, people blamed one mysterious group, the Sea Peoples. Ancient Egyptian records describe strange fleets arriving from across the sea. They attacked cities, destroyed settlements, even attempted to invade Egypt itself. Pharaoh Ramesses III claimed he defeated them, but many other kingdoms were not so fortunate. Were the Sea Peoples responsible for the collapse? Possibly, but probably not on their own. Then came another clue: the climate. Scientists studying ancient lake beds, tree rings, and cave formations found evidence of a prolonged drought around this time. Harvests would have failed, food would have become scarce, famine spread. As people searched for survival, they migrated, and migrations often led to conflict. Then there were earthquakes. Some archaeologists believe a series of major earthquakes struck cities across the region. Others point to internal rebellions, economic instability, political corruption. Perhaps governments simply became too weak to cope. Today, many historians believe there wasn't one single cause. Instead, it was a perfect storm. Drought reduced food supplies. Trade networks broke down. Bronze became scarce. Armies weakened. People migrated. Wars increased. Cities fell. Each problem made the next one worse. Like dominoes, one civilization collapsed. Then another. Then another. The ancient world had become so interconnected that when enough parts of the system failed, the entire network came crashing down. The Bronze Age collapse wasn't one disaster. It was dozens of disasters, happening at the same time. And perhaps that's why it still fascinates historians today, because it reminds us that even the most powerful civilizations can be more fragile than they appear. For centuries, the greatest kingdoms on earth believed they were unstoppable. Then, within a single lifetime, they were gone. The Bronze Age collapse wasn't just the end of an era, it was one of history's greatest warnings. Sometimes, civilizations don't fall because of one enemy. They fall because too many problems arrive at exactly the wrong time.